This is the circle of fifths. Please turn to your notebook to a clean page of paper and write the circle of fifths at the top. The circle of fifths, meaning the number 5. Draw a big circle on your page, but make sure you have enough room for margins all the way around. So if this is your page, you don't have to draw your page obviously, but make sure that your circle is only this big so you still have room around the edges to write. Next, draw a line at the top of your circle as if this was a clock. That would be at the 12 o'clock space. Next, draw a line at the 6 o'clock space. Now draw a line at the 3 o'clock space on the right. And a line at the 9 o'clock space. And now draw 2 lines in between 12 and 3 to make 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Draw 2 more lines in between 3 and 6 o'clock so that you can make 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Draw 2 more lines in between 6 and 9 o'clock to make 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And last, draw 2 more lines in between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock so you can have 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Now you should have 12 evenly spaced lines all the way around your circle. Count them and make sure that you don't have 11 or 13 right now. Once you're done with that, write at the top corner of your page the musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Next, we're going to start at the very top at 12 o'clock on the outside. The outside answers to this circle of fifths is going to be your major answers. Majors are used for the happy sounds on the piano, the happy songs that we sing. The inside is going to be minor answers, that's going to sound sad or scary. So we're going to talk about the majors first. So if we start at the top, we have C major. Please make sure that when you label this, that you make it capital letters. Capital C, capital M. C major. We start at the top because this is going to have 0 sharps and 0 flats. So label this as 0 and a sharp sign, and 0 and a flat sign. Remember, the flat sign kind of looks like a lowercase b. And the sharp sign kind of looks like a number sign, or a pound sign. Next, because we're talking about the circle of fifths, we're going to count by 5s, but we're going to start on the first letter. So letter C is 1. We're not going to count D as 1 because then you've missed the C note. So start on C and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our next answer at 1 o'clock is going to be G major. Capital G, capital M. Because we are at 1 o'clock, this has 1 sharp. There are many patterns in the circle of fifths, and this is the first pattern, which is 1 o'clock, 1 sharp. So at 2 o'clock, there's going to be 2 sharps. Once again, we're going to start on the letter that we left off with. So G is going to be 1. Now we go back to A, and that's going to be 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our next letter is going to be D major. Capital D, capital M. Going on, if we are at D major, we're going to start at 1 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at A major. And because we're at 3 o'clock, it's 3 sharps. Do the next one on your own and think about what the answer might be. Starting on A is 1. What letter are you getting? You should have E major as your answer. Because we're at 4 o'clock, it's 4 sharps. Going on, if we're at E major, counting E as 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B major is going to be at 5 o'clock, which is 5 sharps. Now, when we get to 6 o'clock, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to have F, but this is a special F. It's F sharp major. So you got to put a sharp sign after your letter F and then the major sign. So F sharp major, 6 sharps. Make sure you label all of that. And last but not least, when we start on F as 1, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at C sharp major. It can't be C major because we already have that at 12 o'clock. So this one's going to be C sharp major, 7 sharps. Now, you might be wondering why I said last but not least. We're only at 7 o'clock, but we have all these blank spots. How many letters do we have in our musical alphabet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're only going up to 7 o'clock because we've run out of letters. We've used them all. So now we're going to go on this side to do the flats. So the right side is the sharp side. The left side is the flat side. But there's only 4 spots. To have 5, 6, and 7, we're going to put a slash. So if you ever gotten a letter that says your son / daughter did this, this is going to be the same thing. It means your child, right? Well, this is going to be the same answer. So if we went over to the piano and we played a C sharp, when we find out what this answer is, it's going to be the same notes that you play. It's just called something different. So that's why we have a slash here. So put down 3 slashes. So now we have 7 spots to work with for our flat side. Starting at the top, we were at C major. Now, if our minute hand was going this way, we were going forward. But now our minute hand is moving this way. So that means we have to go backwards. Start on C and count backwards 5 now. So we have 1, 2, 3, back to the G, 4, 5. So now we have F major. So if we had 0 flats here, then we have 1 flat here. Make sure you label this as 1 flat. Counting backwards again, we've got to start with the F as number 1. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be B, but we already have B major here, so we're going to call this one B flat major. And a way to remember this is that flat sign looks like a B anyhow, so why not make it B flat major? If that's 1 flat, this has to be 2 flats. We have a way also to remember this, but we're going to call this best friend, BF. What does it mean? When we're going this way, B is where we're going to start putting flat signs. After this point, every single letter that we use, we're going to have a flat sign next to it. If we go this way, F is going to be where we start our sharp signs. So that's where we're going to have sharps for the rest of the time. Before it is just plain letter, plain letter, plain letter, plain letter. We get to the F, sharp, sharp. This way, plain letter, plain letter, plain letter. We get to the B flat. From this point on, it's going to be flat, 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 flat. So that's how we're going to remember it with best friend is going to be our flat sign and sharp sign. Okay, so if we're going backwards, starting on the B, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What letter do we have now? E flat major. Gotta make sure you put that flat sign there, because if you're writing E major, you're telling me it's 4 sharps. So make sure you have E flat major and 3 flats. Going backwards from E flat, count backwards and see what you get. You should have A flat major. How many flats? 4 flats. Now if we count backwards from A flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have D flat major. And we have 5 flats. And that's where I was saying, if you went to a keyboard and you played a D flat or a C sharp, you'd be playing the same exact key. Maybe we'll look at that a little bit later from now. After D flat, we count backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be our G flat. And because we're at 6 o'clock, we're going to have 6 flats there. And then last but not least, we're going to go backwards again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and end up on C. So when we went this direction on the sharps, we went from C to shining C sharp major. This way we're going from C to shining C flat major. And we have 7 flats. So another way we're going to help ourselves out to make sure we end up right is we're going to go from C to shining C. Write that down. These are going to be your bonus points on your test. Here's another way to double check our work and make sure that we didn't get off by 1 while we were counting out by 5s. So if you look straight across and you go C and C, you're looking across and you're seeing the same answers. If you move to the right, G and G. Move to the right, D and D. Move to the right, A and A. Then we have E and E, B and B, F and F, and back to C and C. So we're going to call this look across. And you can see the same answer. Next, if we want to double check our work, we could start on an A note, and if we skip, and we go like this, A, skip, B, skip, C, skip, D, skip, E, skip, F, we just have the alphabet here. So we're going to call it skip, and it's the ABCs. And if you're wondering, well, what about the notes we just skipped? We said A, skip, so let's start here. It goes E, skip, F, skip, G, skip, back to A, skip, B, skip, C. So it's still the alphabet, the ones that we skipped over.